What's up, everybody? Tech Bro Gaming here once more with another video. Today we're doing a review, or not a review, that was stupid. We're doing a tour of a large underground power plant that I made. Well, it isn't large, but it's a good size, and it took me almost like 2 months to do, off and on. So yeah, this is Blue Sun nuclear power plant, and it's underground, all underground, so except for the offices, which are up here. But yeah, I did all of this completely by myself, completely from scratch, and we are in the TCR Tekkit Classic Reborn, and it is an incredibly good mod pack, and I have a few mods added, which like the dynamic elevators mod, and a few others like that. But this is a very cool place I built, and it generates its own power, does everything like that, and it works really well. Actually, I've actually got the steam to, or water to steam ratio right with the reactor. I'm using big reactors, by the way, but it works really good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So this is the main office building here, and this is the Malice's doors mod right here. But these are the main offices. It's got some computers in here, little benches and stuff like that, made little cubicles. Yeah, so let's head on down to the actual main facility. Alright, I don't know if it's here. It's not here. Wait for it to get here. The elevator's actually quite long, so. There it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and go down. This is quite far down below ground, and before we exit these doors, I'm gonna open up. If you look at the top menu, not the top menu, the top mini map on the right hand top corner, you can see the pretty much the layout of the entire building, and yeah, so it's pretty big. It's a good sized place. Okay, so let's go ahead and step out here. So this is the open area for the elevator. That room right there is the control room. If you go up there, I'll take you to this room and that room last, because those are the two really cool rooms, really. This is like to signify hot coolant in the red, and then cool coolant, in the that doesn't look good. One moment. There. Okay. So, hot coolant going in, and cool coolant, if you will, going out. If that gives you any hints, that back there is the coolant room, or the coolant generators. So yeah. So, this door here that I made, is made with the same elevators mod. I made the elevator vertical instead of horizontal, so it acts as like a sliding door. So, and it looks really good, and it doesn't glitch or anything. So yeah. So this is the you could call it a lobby, if you will. But if you look back there, that was actually before I converted this to a mod world. I did this in vanilla Minecraft, the first little bit, like this room here, and the iron and stuff like that. But that was actually a old up and down piston elevator that I did. It works really good. It's the old CMB design that really still works really good. It's probably the best version you can get, and it doesn't take too long to build. But I made this to the evac route. It works really well because, see, I actually replaced it with a dynamic elevator in there, and it's got a secret exit in a cave up at the surface after you get out of this ravine. But I just happened to stumble upon this cave and decided to build something out of it. So, you know, and I made it look like we have like the iron and creeping in on the stone like that. You know, it just kind of looks more raw and stuff, so it looks really cool. But this is Sector B. I believe this is Sector A, if I'm right. Sector C. What did I have as Sector A? That'd be stupid if I had a Sector B and a Sector C but no Sector A. I don't know why I had it like that. But if you go down through here on Sector B, I must have not had a Sector A. That is stupid of me. Why would I not do that? That makes like 0 sense. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. But yeah. Oops. Nope, wrong one. No. So these little yellow bits here, this is a blast door because that is the reactor in there. Like I said, big reactors. This reactor works really, really good. It's quite big. I've made it big myself, and then a little alarm right there. But this is where the coolant comes out right here, aka water. And it will go into the reactor and make steam. We got about 480 millibuckets coming out. That isn't a lot. You might not think that's a lot, but it really spins them turbines in there, and it generates a lot of power. And I have 2 turbines powering it, so it runs really, really good. And then like over there is where the steam output is. And I need to fuel this thing up anyway, so we'll go ahead and do that. This here is the computer core, aka fuel storage for the reactor. And this works just fine. It's essentially just a massive ME unit that I built myself, and it's just got a ton of yellorium in it. And you can take out as much as you want. And I'll just take out a stack and put it in the reactor. But it's got its lighting. It's got its own lighting switch. If you do that, it'll turn on all the lights in here. Flip it again, it'll turn them off. And these doors here are pre modded version of this world. So yeah, pre-modded. I did these doors just completely out of redstone, including this one. This one uses the same concept. So if you go through here, this is the turbine hall. These things spin pretty fast, as you can see. I recently did an upgrade with the steam and the reactor, so it works a little bit faster now. But we're getting about 490, like it says, 498.2 RPMs coming out of the thing, and 1383 RF per tick. And we should be getting the same thing, or roughly the same thing. Yeah, exactly the same thing over on this side. But because we're making 2, and I have this set up so I can convert it to, I believe it's, see, this is redstone flux, so I believe it's ME. No, not ME. MF. Or EU is what it is. I have it set to where you can actually, I got a mod called power converters in here, right here. And essentially what it does is you can like convert redstone flux to EU and EU to redstone flux and stuff like that. And for EU, I swear these things are like work absolutely perfect. I don't have them like pumping anything up to the surface yet. I will in the future, but for right now, you know, nothing major. So now that I've showed you that, I'll go ahead and take you back to the control room here. And let's see, open and close. This right here is nuclear control, these little things here, and the buttons, and that is red power lighting. The buttons and the lamps. All of these lights are red power, and yeah, so. Or Project Red lighting, or whatever you want to call it. But this is the control room if you go up in here, and it's not a lot. It's just 3 switches, but they do their thing. So what you do is you flip the switch here. This is the lighting for the inside of the control room in here. and then you turn that back on, and it kind of gives you like the effect of like a fluorescent light strand, like kind of flickering on. And then this right here controls the lighting through the rest of the facility. So if I flip that off, all of the lights inside this plant will go completely dark. So see, all of these lights are off, except for like these, which are kind of like emergency lights and stuff like that. But it does the same thing through there. Yeah. So yeah. Let me turn those back on. See, and it turns them all on and off back through there. Okay, so let's go ahead and head on down over here. This is the coolant room, the biggest room in the place. This room also took the longest to make as well. But it was well worth it. Same door concept as the one over towards the reactor over there, to the exit of sector C, I guess. I don't know why it wouldn't be sector B and sector A. That was stupid of me. Yeah, if we open this up, okay, so this is the coolant room where I've got just big tanks of water that I completely filled up from scratch, and got emergency tanks that I always have constantly running with these redstone pumps here, or engines, and I just hook them up to some emerald fluid pipe and it pumps them out. Let me hop down here and I'll show you what they do. Alright, so these pumps here, all of the engines are pumping out water from these tanks and sending it into one master pipe and sends it to the reactor. How am I getting this water, you might ask? All this water here is used as pools, and you could say this is kind of cheaty, but it works really, really well. So this is a water mill right here, and you stick it in the water and it will slowly generate power right there. And what that will do is, when this is giving this power, that pump will start sucking in water and filling up its internal tank. And then when that internal tank fills, or whenever you tell it to, you put a fluid ejector upgrade in, and then you can start pumping water out of that tank and putting them into bigger tanks. Same concept, except the bigger ones that you saw right here, these bigger ones here, these are the small ones. The bigger ones here are the ones that I use to fill up these 3 tanks here. These bigger tanks don't run out, so don't run out as fast, so I didn't need to worry about making any big ones for these big tanks. But these smaller tanks, or the smaller tanks, I got bigger ones because they run out of water much faster. So if you hop down in here, I got a bunch of water mills and 2 water pumps, and doing the exact same thing with the exact same concept. So now that you've seen that, I'm trying to think here. Let's see. I think that's it. Close this door back up. And yeah, so I'll take you up the evac route and show you that, and then we'll end it in here. Okay, let's see. Oh, whoa. Open. I would have used shaders for this, but it really tanks my computer when I try to record and run shaders. And the mods hate for it. Shaders run like fantastic on vanilla Minecraft, but they don't like mods, or the mods don't like the shaders. That was my Xbox, if that picked that up. Sorry. Let me just go ahead and call the elevator down. So this is the evac route here, and there we go, and let's head on up. And so I'll show you exactly how I did this fancy door up here. If any of you want to know how to do a torch key, this is how you do it. Okay, so you got this little hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. For some reason my Xbox went into like a movie review thing or something. I don't know what it did. But if I click this, it'll open it up. This is just your standard Jeb door. You know, everybody knows how to do these. But I hooked him up to like the button lever system with a T flip-flop. I like to go old school and use the old reliable T flip-flops, but let me get a redstone torch here. Redstone torch. Where's redstone torch? There it is. Alright. So, you do that, and it shuts the door. It does the same thing to open it up. And you can hear the piston work going back in there, and I'll go ahead and show you how this works. So, if I just open up this bit right here. So, this is how this works, okay? So, you place a torch down here, and it powers the top of this redstone, or it powers the redstone on the top of this block, quickly sending a pulse powering this piston, which pushes this block out and breaks the redstone torch. That pulse continues to travel down to the T flip-flop, which flips the block and powers it, and it goes to the Jeb door, which I did right here, which is incredibly easy to build. And if you watch here, see, and then it does everything over there. And it's really easy. I did it myself, and I'm not that big of a redstone junkie, so yeah. But works like a charm. So I'm gonna head back down here and do one more thing. Okay, now I want to show you this here. So this is the old elevator right here. There's most of the old pistons and stuff like that are still in here, like the front ones or the ones that push out. But this actually was an old redstone elevator that I did with the pistons and stuff like that. It was a nightmare trying to fit all of this in here. But this isn't the best elevator for compactness, but it's very reliable and runs quite well once you actually build it. But then I replaced it with the new, whatever you want to call it, the new fashioned elevator, if you call it the dynamic elevator mod. Yeah. So with that being said, I guess that's it. And I guess I can show you one more thing. There is one thing that I do want to show off. In here. Let me show you how I fit this room in here and how it didn't take me so long to carve it out. Yeah. So, I'm going to show you the back wiring of all this place here real quick. So, I essentially just took a nuke from IC2, and there's diamonds. Wow. But I took a nuke from IC2, blew it up, and built this thing out of thin air, and took a bunch of lamps to it and plugged it up to the wiring system in the rest of the plant, in the rest of the power plant. So so if this goes through here, see, I'll show you how this works here. So I need to power you. What? Oh, these are the inverted ones. Haha, kill me. Oh, okay. So, okay, so the problem solved. So let me go through here. And so, here be the, blast door that I did here. I screwed that up. Down in here is a blast door is the blast door for the reactor, and it's the redstone down here is quite complicated. It took a lot to fit all this in, not get confused. But it's really simple. So it's like your normal piston door with two on the bottom, two pistons on the bottom, and two pistons on the top up here. So, and it works really good. But the wiring system, if you go through here, this is, I believe, yeah, this is the computer core where I get the fuel and stuff, which I forgot to fill up the reactor. I'm sorry, reactor. We'll do that real quick. Same door right here as over there. And wiring system, you can see here, this is an alarm from nuclear control 2. this right here will take you back to the should be the control room. Yeah. So if you go through here, all of this is still connected up, and that way goes to the control room up there. We're on top of the long hallways in here, and then this takes you to the coolant room back here. And yeah, so all of this was once a cave. Like, all of this was completely open in the cave, and this right here was all completely open. None of this was here. Like I said, you know, all of this was raw cave, and this was open down in here, and that obsidian was still there though. But then I just completely like added stuff in. But this is the wiring system for all the lamps in the building, or in the thing. I put them on the delay so it looks like the old fluorescent lighting and stuff like that. So this has been a quick tour of my power plant, and it works really well. And yeah, this is the wiring for the doors. Yeah, this is where it gets kind of complicated trying to fit in all the wiring and stuff like that. But yep. So yeah, why don't we end it off with going up the little elevator in here, and I'll end it off. Alright, so while we're going up the elevator, why don't I go ahead and tell you, I am planning on uploading a new building, let's build a nuclear power plant, part 3 or 4, I can't remember which one, but I'm planning on uploading one of them, and also some more Phantom Forces, and possibly another Subnautica video. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of that or not. Probably will, just depends, but yep. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. I really like this place. It took forever for me to build though. That was a try at weird pistons. I don't know how it was a source code that you could download and put in the chat bar, and it did like weird stuff. But this was, I spawned like somewhere right over here and was looking for a place to put some stuff, like make a power plant like that underground. And then I saw that cave and I was like, ooh, maybe, you know. And so I just kind of hopped down and found that little corner, and just came right here, and then I just built. It started with this hallway here, and it just started with the hallway, and it just kept going and kept going and kept going until eventually I just turned it into a full-fledged working power plant. But if you were to convert that RF to EU, it would actually power stuff in industrial craft and everything else that uses EU. So yep. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.